ancient Egypt, land of pharaohs, gods, and mysteries. But beneath the grandeur lies a society shaped by fascinating, sometimes surprising ideas about masculinity and sexuality. Today we dive into the art, literature, and beliefs of this ancient civilization to uncover how Egyptian men expressed their identity, power, and even intimacy. In ancient Egyptian art, the male form was idealized. Broad shoulders and a narrow waist signified strength and vigor, but there's more to it than physical beauty. These depictions reflected the societal expectation that a man should embody both control and vitality. And then there's Min, the god of fertility. His unambiguous depictions weren't just for shock value, they symbolized the crucial link between masculinity, fertility, and agricultural prosperity. To the Egyptians, a man's virility wasn't just personal, it was tied to the survival of his family and community. Masculinity was also about power, both literal and symbolic. Warriors brought severed hands as trophies to their rulers, proving their dominance over enemies. But even the act of ruling itself was steeped in ideals of masculinity. Take Hatshepsut, a female pharaoh. To legitimize her rule, she donned the symbols of masculinity, including the iconic false beard. Her reign blurred the lines of gender norms, showing that masculinity wasn't just about biology but also authority and influence. In Egyptian mythology, sexuality often served as a metaphor for power. One infamous story involves the gods Set and Horus. Set's attempt to dominate Horus sexually wasn't an expression of desire, it was a bid for supremacy. These myths reveal how intertwined sexuality was with notions of control and rivalry. Egyptian art wasn't shy about sexuality either. The Turin erotic papyrus, for example, offers us a glimpse into the more playful and sometimes explicit side of ancient life. These depictions were less about shock and more about celebrating human experience and fertility. And what about same-sex relationships? The tomb of Nyankhnum and Khnumhotep has sparked endless debates. Were they brothers, close friends, lovers? The intimate way they are depicted, holding hands, touching noses, suggests a bond that defied conventional labels. This ambiguity shows how the Egyptians may have had a more fluid understanding of relationships than we often assume. Even the gods embraced complexity. Some deities were androgynous, embodying both masculine and feminine traits. This wasn't seen as strange, but rather divine, a representation of the completeness needed to create and sustain life. In creation myths, these fluid identities symbolize the undifferentiated chaos before the world's formation. It's a reminder that in the divine realm, gender wasn't rigid, but part of a larger cosmic balance. Masculinity and sexuality in ancient Egypt were anything but simple. They were expressions of power, fertility, creativity, and even vulnerability. They remind us that identity in all its forms is as fluid and complex as the Nile itself.